Good afternoon. Today, the three of us will be presenting to you the ethical issue of celebrities versus the paparazzi. My name is Ariana, and I will be presenting the first stakeholder on public figures.
I'm Joe, and I'll be doing the stakeholder of the paparazzi.
Michael, I'll be representing the stakeholder of public figures' families.
To begin, countless young individuals, like ourselves, see actors on the big screen and are in awe of their larger-than-life appearances. Viewers often attempt to emulate them, as attaining fame and becoming starlets are lifelong goals of many. From red carpets and multi-million-dollar paydays for actors, rock star tours, and thousands of fans for musicians, inheriting the crown and being sought after by every top-notch designer in the world for royals, and finally, running for office and earning the trust of the American people for politicians, being famous appears to be outwardly wonderful. Fame, however, is not as glamorous as it does appear to be. Being globally renowned comes with a hefty price tag, the sacrifice of privacy. To the dismay of public figures, there are several legal issues that cloud this fundamental truth, boiling down to the classification of public figures as all-purpose and limited purpose. While some argue that public figures are aware of the repercussions of stepping into the limelight, every human being nonetheless deserves the due right to a private sphere. With the numerous accounts of tragedy associated with the paparazzi overstepping their boundaries, legislation and protection of public figures is long overdue in order to protect all American people, regardless of status. Every single day in the news, a new story can be found revealing yet another celebrity scandal. There are even entire websites and television programs dedicated to exposing the latest tabloid field day, such as TMZ or Dish Nation, which the three of us admit to having watched at one point. To introduce the first stakeholder, public figures, here's a video clip demonstrating the horrendous result of the paparazzi going too far to capture a photograph. In his article, Celebrities' Privacy, New Twists on Old Excuses, author John Christopher Anderson compares the paparazzi's action to sexual assault. Anderson draws a parallel between the excuses used by both criminals and photographers, citing such phrases as, "She asked for it," "She wanted it," "She loved it." According to Anderson, on the night of Princess Diana's death in August of 1997, the paparazzi explained how she really enjoyed being photographed and often posed deliberately, so if she wanted it, what was wrong with following her everywhere? Ironically, in presenting public figures, our first stakeholder, as regular people, the press dehumanizes them by exploiting their fundamental rights. On the most basic level, intruding into the personal lives of public figures is unethical simply because it goes against the preamble to the U.S. Constitution. The preamble states the intention to promote the general welfare and well-being, interchangeable in this case. Compromising the safety of public figures is illegal, meaning that it goes against the law, just as does any other crime, such as sexual assault. The American ideal of freedom of the press, claimed by the paparazzi, commonly conflicts with the right to privacy demanded by the public figures. According to the Harvard Law Review Association, a free and unrestrained press is considered to be one of the hallmarks of American liberty. As James Madison commented in his report on the Virginia resolutions, the press, nonetheless, can potentially abuse its freedom, as seen in the video. Recently, private individuals have shown objection to what Harvard Law calls an obstinate press with mercenary tactics, harassing and intrusive. Public figures desire a balance between the people's right to know versus the public figure's right to privacy. Unfortunately, from a legal standpoint, Public figures cannot lawfully complain about the press for being a pestilence, as they sacrifice some of their rights by initially stepping into the spotlight. Contrary to the common belief, public figures actually have fewer rights than common people. And if a famous person were to sue a paparazzo, he or she would have to prove that the defendant acted with malice. According to the University of Pennsylvania Law Review, there are two types of public figures, as I previewed earlier: all-purpose and limited purpose. An all-purpose figure is someone who achieves fame in relation to all contexts. An example of this type would be a company executive or a professional athlete or a famous actor. On the other hand, a limited purpose public figure is someone who achieves fame only in relation to a particular issue, such as Casey Anthony or Jodi Arias, two people involved in law cases, and along with those persons' families. In other words, it's much easier for limited purpose to succeed in suing a paparazzi than an all-purpose. These exclusions of the law essentially bestow the paparazzi with their rights. This is not to say that the paparazzi do not occasionally break the law while pursuing a photograph. However, as long as there is a high demand for information on public figures, from the perspective of the other or the paparazzi, they are not technically doing anything unethical. For the paparazzi, breaking the law can even become an acceptable risk, exemplified in the case of photographer Ron Galella, who violated his restraining order to photograph First Lady Jackie O, who's considered by many Americans to be American royalty. Subsequent to the tragic death of beloved English royal Princess Diana Spencer in 1997, European privacy laws were more strictly enforced, requiring special permits to photograph minors, which previews Michael's stakeholder of the children of public figures. As privacy laws vary from one country to the next, the United States legislature defines privacy in regards to personal autonomy and privacy, right to privacy. Whether or not a person holds a loose or strict interpretation of the Constitution is at the heart of the debate. By the logic of commerce, capitalism allows for information to surface based on demand. Those who invade privacy, or the paparazzi, are the ones who supply the information demanded. The relationship between the media and the people is symbiotic, in that magazines depend on hungry readers to continue purchasing gossip, thus feeding these news sources to produce continued satisfaction. To introduce the second stakeholder on the paparazzi presented by Joe, it is safe to say that in the end, the media benefits financially from this relationship, and the public attains so-called juicy information to spread around via word of mouth or social networking.
This is a clear example of how both paparazzi and celebrities can get really aggressive when this type of harassment occurs. This is Kanye West attacking a photographer. He later got arrested for this. From a legal standpoint, however, the paparazzi are more supported than celebrities because of the First Amendment right to the freedom of the press. And ultimately, the paparazzi only see this as doing a necessary job, keeping the public interest in mind and revealing public figures as their true selves. Nicholas Edmonton, a journalist for the International Business Times, writes that the editor of the Sun's Bizarre Showbiz column, Gordon Smart, has claimed the nature of celebrity means that privacy is often outweighed by the public interest. Though not all people are absorbed in knowing about the personal lives of celebrities, there's still a vast amount of people that that devour this kind of showbiz news. These are the people that the paparazzi see as the general public, who consume their products on a daily basis. New York Times reporter Ryan Linkoff discusses in his article why we need the tabloids, the importance of paparazzi in today's society. Over the years, it's been clear that the media will only continue to push the boundaries of public figures' privacy, but Linkoff believes that this is for the better. They are under a lot of pressure to continue providing candid photographs of celebrities to magazines and tabloids, because the fact of the matter is that people love to consume tabloids and magazines, unintentionally feeding the proverbial beast. Millions of magazine readers, most of these being women of all ages of adulthood, have no idea that they hugely contribute to this ongoing struggle. The thought occurs to very few that are perusing a magazine that those pictures of celebrities at the beach or at a restaurant are in fact taken by paparazzi. Every time a person purchases a magazine with candid photos or a tabloid, he or she supports the paparazzi and their cause. So, as the paparazzi claim to only be giving the public what it wants, they seem to be right. Genevieve Hassan, journalist for the BBC News, discusses in her article, "Can Celebrities Expect Privacy?" the delicacy of the relationship between celebrities and showbiz reporters. Hassan states that arguably one cannot exist without the other. Without paparazzi, celebrities would lose a colossal and irreplaceable amount of publicity necessary to their careers. Many celebrities themselves call upon the paparazzi and other reporters in order to gain more publicity. Countless relationships have been notoriously called out for being an obvious publicity stunt. Such relationships include Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, who seem to be promoting their Twilight movies rather than being an actual couple, Taylor Swift and her various significant others in order to make hit songs and further her career, Kim Kardashian and Chris Humphries, who used each other to further each other's careers and ended in a 72-day marriage. However, the most surprising fake relationship was Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Cruise was rumored by numerous magazines and tabloids to have had Holmes sign a 5-year marriage contract that would inevitably end in their divorce. These public facades are usually just a ploy to make money. Celebrities use these tactics to fool their fans and exploit their willingness to spend money on entertainment. Celebrities can also commonly be role models for many people at any age, which is due in part to that star's image. What they wear, how they talk, and how they act, that can be employed. The media reports when stars lend helping hands in massive tragedies, such as Hurricane Katrina, or when they adopt numerous underprivileged children, or are simply being friendly to their fans on a daily basis. Manny Jackson, a blogger for Faith Speaks, talks about the influence of seeing strong women in the media in her article, "Virginity, Public Figures, and Women's Worth." Lolo Jones, a U.S. Olympian, is very public about her choice for abstinence until marriage, discussing it in various interviews and talking about it on her own Twitter. Jackson discusses the effect of this on raising self-respect and expectations for young women everywhere, in a society crazed with sex and drugs and constant partying, devised most recently by celebrities such as Miley Cyrus. It seems as though there's no escape from it for future generations. Having a role model such as Lolo Jones, who openly and profoundly professes her chastity, is probably a healthier role model than the alternative. Clayton Kershaw, ace pitcher for the LA Dodgers, goes to Africa with his wife during off-seasons to help some communities for his Project Arise Africa. Various media have covered his extraordinary deeds and publicized them. The media has a hand in how celebrities are seen as model citizens and trustworthy and deserving of their fans. However, just as the media can make heroes out of celebrities, so must they also reveal when those celebrities don't act so exemplary. King also says that the paper has a duty to uncover hypocrisy when it comes to the behavior of celebrities. The media has a civic duty to the public to reveal who should truly be considered a role model. They don't have to be perfect, they just have to be real. In one way or another, the paparazzi and other types of reporters uncover the truth about public figures that seek to fool the general public. American professional golfer Tiger Woods was revealed in 2009 to have been serially cheating on his wife by a leaked story in the National Enquirer, a well-known tabloid. His admirers, colleagues, and media denounced him thereafter. Although tabloids may test the limits of the ethically or legally acceptable, they're often doing so in the service of a popular desire to see behind the facade of public life. Rather than giving the celebrities the privilege to get away with sin, paparazzi allow public figures to also pay the consequences of making mistakes and fooling not only their families but also their fans. The work of the tabloids can be irritating and provocative and ethically questionable and even highly illegal, but when practiced according to existing laws, tabloid journalism can be an important player in modern culture, helping to relieve some of the central tensions in society. Journalism has always been marked by a battle to define the boundaries of acceptable investigative behavior. The tabloids, just as they should, constantly test these boundaries. All the same, many people believe that the paparazzi have gone too far in order to obtain invasive photos of celebrities going to the grocery store or taking out the trash. On top of this, families of celebrities are also affected by the paparazzi. most especially their innocent children. So perhaps the paparazzi have gone too far in that regard, feeding on the reactions of the innocent. In fact, the word paparazzi comes from an Italian dialect word for particularly noisy, buzzy mosquito. It was popularized after the Federico Fellini 1960 film La Dolce Vita. The character named Paparazzo in the film is a news photographer.
Kate Moss and her children waited patiently outside the airport until they were swarmed by the paparazzi. As you can see, without proper security, photographers were able to contain the supermodel and her family to the point of no escape. It took time for law enforcement to arrive at the scene, but that still did not stop the horde of paparazzi from following the family into the airport and waiting there until they were picked up. Amidst the commotion of flashing lights, you could hear the crying and fear from Moss's daughter, Willa Grace Moss, who was hiding behind the suitcase cart and covered by her mother. The children of celebrities are afraid and exploited by the media. The goal of a paparazzo is to obtain pictures of celebrities that may be valuable to tabloid magazine corporations. A growing problem today is the increasing interest of celebrities' personal lives and families. Not only are pictures of celebrities valuable to these magazine companies, but pictures of their children may have equal to more worth than the actual celebrities themselves. Some celebrity children are even exposed to the hectic paparazzi crowd a few hours after they are born. According to the French newspaper Nice Matin, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have sold the first photos of twins Vivienne Marceline and Knox Leon to an unnamed U.S. magazine for $11 million. Even though Pitt and Jolie donate the money received to charity, there are numerous of other cases of million-dollar baby pictures. The ridiculously high bounty of these baby pictures exploits the family's personal lives, especially at one of the most special moments parents share with their child. The years of adolescence are an important developmental period to a person's character. The celebrity life these children are exposed to can greatly affect their actions, personal relationships, and safety. Celebrity children have to live a life of limited public exposure. The constant stalking by the paparazzi force these adolescents to stay hidden and deprive them of normal activities in public areas such as malls, parks, beaches, and restaurants. Even though the paparazzi have the right to take a picture of anything in the public eye, they violate common morality by antagonizing and aggravating these children in order to receive a negative reaction. Celebrities' children have no choice but to ignore these immoral tactics, otherwise they provide the photographer with an opportunity to obtain a negatively assuming photo that can hurt the family's reputation, which is an important factor in determining the value of these photos. How can a parent explain to their children why they have to ignore this aggressive and hurtful aspect of the life they were born into? This market violates moral codes and business ethics in the sense that it produces nothing that benefits the development of society. Instead, professional adults are exploiting minors for self-benefit and providing the general public with unimportant information that draws attention away from current events that actually affect modern society. Minors have the responsibility of representing their parents' mentoring skills and family values. Since these adolescents are constantly in the public's camera lens, they have to be mindful of their actions, or else it can reflect poor parenting skills or negatively affect their parents' professional image. Any negative reaction to a personal question or questionable activities performed by a celebrity's child could also expose troubling family matters that should be kept within the family. Lindsay Lohan is the daughter of Michael Lohan, a former Wall Street trader, and Dina Lohan, a former singer and dancer. Lindsay was born in the spotlight and at a young age proved her potential to be a prominent actress with roles in successful movies such as The Parent Trap and Mean Girls. Currently, she is the main example of a local child star gone bad, but no doubt the media was there every step of the way. On the CelebBuzz website, Gabrielle Chung created a timeline of trouble with 35 pictures that publicized all of her mistakes since 2006. In this timeline were multiple pictures of public intoxication, rehabilitation, mugshots, and court appearances. The media exploited young Lohan on her mistakes and absolutely destroyed her reputation as an actress for the profits of the entertainment industry and the appeasement of the general public. Along with Lohan's mistakes, the media also paid attention to her parents' divorce issues. This is a complete lack of respect for personal privacy, and the millions of dollars that magazines profited from this family matter shows the immorality of the industry. The incessant demand for these magazines have driven the paparazzi to go through extreme measures to obtain a photo, even risking the safety of celebrities' children. The migrating packs of paparazzi provide an easy opportunity for potentially dangerous people to stalk these celebrities and their families. There are mentally unstable fans who may be overly obsessed with the people they see in movies or on TV, which can create a potential threat to celebrity and their family members. Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck had to endure this constant fear when Stephen Berkey, a mentally unstable and overly obsessive fan, stalked the couple and even their daughters. Jennifer Garner had a court-ordered restraining order against him issued in 2008. However, the obsessive fan did not stop. Berkey was waiting outside the nursery school Violet Affleck attended, hidden among the pack of paparazzi when he was arrested in 2009. Following his arrest, the court deemed him mentally unfit for trial and sent him to a mental institution. The paparazzi placed Violet Affleck in a hostile situation just so they could get a picture of the celebrity couple picking up their daughter from school. The ethical question to be raised is, are the profits from celebrity children's photos worth the sacrifice of the children's safety? Jennifer Garner and Halle Berry have taken political action against the exploitation of their children by the media. They believe that their children should not have to suffer from such a negative externality caused by their line of work. They seek to redefine the definition of harassment and to increase privacy rights for their kids. In Garner's testimony, she stated, "I don't want a gang of shouting, arguing, law-breaking photographers who camp out everywhere we are all day, every day to continue traumatizing my kids." In France, photographers and magazines are not allowed to publish a photo of a minor or their face unless they have a minor's or parent's consent. This law prevents the paparazzi from following and harassing celebrity children. The demand for celebrity photos and insider information will never disappear, so it is the duty of the American government to provide its citizens with the proper privacy and harassment rights. Everyone has had an embarrassing picture taken of them, but imagine if it was published and viewed by millions of people. Being constantly aware of your appearances in public prohibits celebrities and their family from living a normal life.
To summarize, Ariana presented you with the stakeholder of the public figures based on the preamble of the Constitution. I presented the stakeholder of the paparazzi based on the First Amendment, and Michael presented the stakeholder of the public figures' families also based on the preamble.
The fact of the matter is that we are all in search of identity, and showing the human side of public figures gives us hope, someone to whom we can relate.
However, endangering other people in this process is unconstitutional and unethical. The next time you turn on Access Hollywood, perhaps reconsider its validity.
Just as those PSA commercials with the animals that are so cute that shed light on animal cruelty, evoking an appeal to pathos and stirring our emotions, cruelty towards public figures is a real problem. Reform initiatives are the public's opportunity or our chance to pave the way for change. If you are as passionate as we are about this topic, you can visit the website Paparazzi Reform Initiative. It's a .org site, and you can view 2 of the reform bills that were passed in 2009 and 2010 in support of the movement. And you can also invest in merchandise such as comical t-shirts to advertise for the cause. So something fashionable but also helping the public figures. Or you can do as we did for our service requirement, print out a media code of conduct and send it in to various tabloids. We send it to People magazine, and you would include a cover letter explaining why you feel this way and why you feel reform is necessary. So we hope that you join in the cause, and thank you for your time.